Then they do count spires, which are just there for decoration. At the tippy top of it, it's 1,364 feet tall. Now they say, though, that if Donald Trump were to stand at the very top of that spire, his hair would be taller than the Sears Tower. You can see it has 3 insets on it, or 3 balconies, right? Each one of these balconies is at the specific height of a neighboring building. This was, of course, done on purpose. The architect, Adrian Smith, did not want this huge postmodern structure to dominate the skyline and detract attention away from all those older, shorter buildings. So they put insets at specific heights. They would have the aesthetically pleasing purposes. Also, a tip of the hat to those older buildings. Invented the Twinkie, the skyscraper, the cell phone, and softball. That's my Chicago fact time. Thank you.
The Trump Tower was put up in 2005, completed in 2008. It is 1,327 feet tall. The Trump Tower. The bottom is a parking garage. And I think I'm ready to go break. You guys get ready? Yes. I will be going on break. I was Trisha, your tour guide. And now we're going to have another tour guide come up top and talk to you guys a little while so I come on break. Enjoy your stay in Chicago. Remember, stop number 1 is where you get your t-shirt. Stop number 3 is where you get your Gary's popcorn. And stop number 10 is where you get a nice little Tootsie Roll and a lemon head with a Chicago postcard on it. So enjoy your stay in Chicago, and I'll see you guys later.
After its completion, the beautiful white Carrara marble they originally faced that building with, it was buckling and cracking because of Chicago's harsh winters. Took all the marble off and replaced it with granite from North Carolina. The whole process cost them $80 million, which is almost as much as it cost to complete the building in the first place. Big whoops on that one. So here on the right, on the riverbank, we have the bare bones of what is normally a very gorgeous fountain. They've been shutting it off periodically throughout the week. This week, apparently, they're having some maintenance issues with it. So the reason the fountain is there is actually much more important than the fountain being on itself. And it's called Centennial Fountain because it was built in 1989 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Chicago Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. That's a lot of fancy words put together to mean the people that reverse the flow of the Chicago River. Some of you might know this already, but the river flows backwards. It used to flow east into Lake Michigan. Now it flows west away from the lake. We had to go through all that trouble because in Chicago's early history, we had no sewers. We thought of the river as nothing more than a garbage dump. Human waste, industrial waste, animal carcasses, anything we didn't want, we dumped it in, and it carried out into Lake Michigan. Huge problem. Lake Michigan was and still is our source of drinking water. Thousands of people were to celebrate their 75th anniversary. They wanted to build the most beautiful office building in the world. That winning design was picked from 263 entries they received. Hood and Howells were the winning architects. We'll see the Tribune on the way back. I'll tell you more about it then. Meantime, after this bridge on the right, you're going to get to see the beautiful Wrigley Building, designed by Charles Pearson of Grant Anderson Otisman White. South Tower built in 1921, the North Tower in 1924. There are 6 different shades of white terracotta tiles on the face of the Wrigley Building that get lighter and brighter as they go up to draw your eyes up to the top of the clock tower at 398 feet. That'll bring us to one of the newest and biggest installations in the Chicago skyline. The giant blue building is the Trump International Hotel and Tower. This is an Adrian Smith design. He did not want this building to dominate everything in the Pacific Blues. So I don't know if any of you are Steve McQueen fans. He was an action movie guy. His last movie, The into the river. Kids, that was before computer-generated graphics. They physically had to do it. It's pretty cool. Next to this on the right called Riverfront Park. Both built in 1987, different architects. Well, the Black Bay Windows is currently the Westin Hotel, but was originally built by Helmi Tabata and Asaba to be the Hotel Nikko for Japan Airlines. Even though it's not a Japanese-themed hotel anymore, they still maintain a Japanese-style garden next door for their guests. No balconies. Use a freight elevator to get the cars up there. And rather than have central hallways with apartments on either side, the hallways are all on the west or back side. Everybody that lives there gets a really great panoramic view of downtown. The funniest thing about this building, when they first opened up, they wanted to advertise, of course, and residences instead of residences, which I know is a tiny mistake. I always thought it was hilarious because you know they spent a ton of money on a sign that big. Why didn't anybody spell check it? Have money. Pinkish building next door is the oldest building you'll see today on the river, at least. It's built in 1908 by Frank Abbott and it's called Fulton House. Originally, it was used as a cold storage building. How they kept their dairy products inside cold before refrigeration. Check out their balconies. See how deeply they're set in? That's how thick the walls are, except that they're hollow. They filled the walls with frozen horsehair. That's what kept everything insulated. Gary Reese was the architect in charge of turning those into condos. He had to let that building thaw out for a year to get all the horsehair out of there so he could put in the balconies and the windows. Gary Reese, good guy, great architect, loved to go sailing. And that's evidenced by his demonstrator, who was quite the entrepreneur. So he's taking his boat out for a test drive. 2 hours into it, he runs his ship aground on a sandbar where the Hancock building sits today. Could not get the boat off of the sandbar, so he got creative. He knew there was a lot of new construction going on a little bit north of there, along what we call the Gold Coast. He convinced all the construction developers building these mansions along the Gold Coast it would be so much easier for them if they started dumping around his boat. Little by little, he started creating a plot of land. Before you know it, he's got a third of a square mile now connected to the mainland. But it was not part of any maps that were approved. He went ahead and declared it a free federal district of Lake Michigan for himself and the What a lot of people don't know is that the Canyon Street Bridge all by itself is a very fitting place to have a wedding photo taken because John Kesey was the first person in Chicago to perform a marriage ceremony. So whether they're aware of it or not, they're doing something that's historically relevant, but try telling that to a bridezilla. It does not work. So we are going to go underneath the Lake Street Bridge next. Lake and Wells are the 2 double-deck bridges in the city that carry elevated or L trains up on the top levels, cars and pedestrians along the bottom. Once upon a time, we had 52 movable bridges in Chicago. We're now down to 37. Apparently, we've stuck linchpins into some of them. We get more federal tax money for having fixed bridges and movable bridges. But even at 37 movable bridges, that's more movable bridges than any other city in the world. And most of them downtown are the double D we get turned around. He was selling bootleg liquor out of a speakeasy. Well, like he could speakeasy. The police didn't know and didn't want to know about it until afterwards. The tall skinny white tower next to Hotel 71 is called Mather Tower, built in 1928 by Hubert Whittle. They were supposed to build an identical twin next door in 1929, but the stock market crashed and they ran out of money. Mather, Alonzo Mather, the guy the tower's named after. They tend to call it Lincoln Tower now. I still call it Mather Tower because he's the original guy that had it commissioned. Alonzo Mather was the guy that figured out a more humane way to transport cattle in train cars so they weren't all dying before they got to the stock yards, which is nuts. The happiest of endings either, but at least they were cold and they had water to drink on their way to the stockyards after he started making these train cars. That's where he got the money for in the first place. But we're coming around the bend here, guys. We're in the home stretch, I promise. Next building on the right with the concave curved front is the Crane Communications Building, built in 1923 by Alvin Walsh. It's 22 stories tall, made out of Indiana limestone, and that is where Fort Dearborn used to be. You start to see the aqua. Remember the first building that I showed you today? And from this angle, you can really see all those white balconies and how they truly are differently shaped. The minis. The aqua was designed by a female architect, Jeannie Gang, and that makes the aqua 819 feet tall, the 3rd tallest building in the world, too, that is designed by a woman, which is pretty cool stuff. There is a time, therefore putting Chicago back on the map as far as world metropolises were concerned. People naturally looked to Daniel Burnham to further plan Chicago after that fair was over. And this was really great timing. The early 1900s is when city planning started to take off as an idea in the United States. We call it the City Beautiful movement. Sociologists got together and said, hey, we got a lot to live up to. He wanted this fountain to show you the evolution of water, how it starts in one place and ends up in a completely other place, hence the different sides of the fountain and then the art.